This is Curtis at thedigitalphotocoach.com. I'm going to show you how to take a dull, ordinary looking picture like this and give it a lot more oomph without spending much time on it. There are two ways that I'm going to show you. We'll do the simplest one first, and that has to do with just using a blend mode. I'm going to create another copy of this layer by holding down Control and clicking J, and it would be Command J on a Mac. And now we have a layer that's just like the one below it. I can turn it on and off, and there's no change that you can see. But if I change the blending mode, we'll get a pretty dramatic change. I'm going to use the overlay mode, and the reason for that is in overlay, light areas like these in the top layer will interact with the light areas below them and make things look even lighter, and the dark areas in the top layer will make the areas below that look even darker. So we're going to, in effect, have the bright areas brighter, the dark areas darker, and the ones that are pretty close to the middle aren't going to change much. So let's make this change here, selecting overlay. And so we've got a pretty dramatic change, and I think you'll probably agree with me that this is overdone. So we need to just back off on the opacity. And I'm going to start out, say, maybe around 50%. And, well, that's not bad. Let's try pushing it a little farther. Maybe up to around 75%. See how that looks. I'll turn off the layer and put it back on. So it's kind of a matter of taste here. I think this looks pretty good. It's at 68%. It could drop down closer to 50%. And it's still pretty good, definitely an improvement over what we had before. Now I'm going to show you a second way to do it that's a little bit more sophisticated. And to start out, I'm going to get rid of this layer. So we're back to the original photograph. And I'm going to open the adjustments. And we're going to look to see where the really bright areas are and the really dark ones are. And I'm going to use the info palette and just go sample with my eyedropper tool and find some areas that are bright. You know, this looks pretty bright to me, and it's showing up like about around 200 on the RGB scale down. Watch this part right in here, and I think that's an important part of the image, so I'm going to select that. I'm just going to hold down the Shift key and click, and now we've made a reference point there. And looking at the dark areas, I don't think I want to go to these really dark ones. I really don't think this is a significant part of the image, but maybe around in here maybe. We can make this darker, but we don't want to lose track of it. So I'm going to sample this. Hold down the Shift key and click. And we've got this page. And I'm going to do one more. This looks even darker. And it is. It's almost 000. So we want to keep this one somewhere in between where it is and where that is, and we want to make this part a little bit lighter. So I'm going to go down to the curves and make a curve. I happen to have this set to show percent ink. You could have it to show brightness, and you can change that in the curves preferences. I'm just going to start here and make it brighter and keep my eye on this because I don't want to wash it out. But I'm going to take it up to maybe around there. That's brighter certainly than where we started. And then I'm going to go to the dark end, and we're going to bring these down some by sliding it over. So we brought that down some, and I'm going to turn this off so we can see what's going on. And if I click this on and off, you'll see that we really improved this image quite a bit. Sometimes it's helpful to get a little bit of a bump in this, and so I'll raise the overall brightness a little bit and kind of lower the darkness as well. And that has that effect. I think maybe we overdid, so I'm just going to bring this back kind of to where it was, and this back to where it was. And we've got a pretty good image. I think I like that. So that's how we did it. We used two things. First, we did it using the overlay mode on a duplicate layer, and the second time we did it, we used the threshold adjustment layer to identify some significant parts of the image that were bright and dark, and then use the curves adjustment to make the bright ones brighter and the dark ones darker. Thank you for watching.